Welcome back, YouTube. Today we have changed location. I got kind of bored sitting at my dining table over there, and I thought we'd mix it up and move to this sophisticated chair. It's also pretty dark today, and I prefer to use natural light instead of artificial light, and this is closer to the window that's over there, off camera. So yeah, hope you like it. Anyway, let's get on with it and talk about what the title of this video actually promised, yeah? Today, I'm going to share with you my 2 favorite glute or butt exercises. Now, I also want to put 2 very important disclaimers here because I can already taste the haterade that's going to be thrown my way. First of all, the most obvious, full disclosure, the glutes shown in the thumbnail for this video, they're my training partner Sherelle's glutes, not my glutes. I still haven't really mastered the art of making my glutes pop for a photo, and I figured people would be much more interested in her glutes than my glutes. I probably should have checked with her before recording this video, but I'm 99.9% sure she would agree with me on the exercises I'm about to go through in this video, I think. Next disclaimer is that there are no squats and no deadlifts featured in this video. Why not, you might ask? Well, I love those movements and I do them frequently. And I think they do fit well into a program that is centered around building your glutes. However, there are also exercises that can be easily manipulated and performed to work the adductors, the quads, the hamstrings, or the erectors. So there's a lot of variables going on there. And instead of giving you something overcomplicated that can't guarantee success, what I want to do today is give you 2 exercises that I recommend to absolutely everybody that will guarantee success with building your butt. You see, over the years, I've had a lot of people come to me, typically females, who tell me they can't grow their glutes no matter what they do. And oftentimes, I find it's a factor of 2 things. Either they're choosing poor exercises for the job, or they're performing the good exercises poorly and they're missing the mark. So there's a good chance you'll have come across the exercises I'm about to list, but there's also a really good chance that you're making a few of the common mistakes that are interfering with your ability to train your glutes effectively. Today, I'm going to take you into the gym and show you these mistakes that people make with the exercises and how to get the most out of them for your glutes. Now, before I get there, I also want to know, what are your top 2 exercises for glutes? What exercises do you make sure you always do when training your glutes? Drop me a comment below and let me know. And yes, you can include squats or deadlifts if that's what you like. Because it's about your favorite 2 exercises that I want you to comment, not mine. And if you're a guy who doesn't train his glutes with any targeted volume, you really do need to catch up with the times. Train your glutes, folks. Now, without further ado, or more preamble, exercise numero 1, which should come to no surprise to anyone, is a glute bridge. While the hip thrust was popularized by Bret Contreras, I prefer a slightly more specific glute thrust to train the glutes. The main difference between a hip thrust and what you could call a glute thrust or a glute bridge, or call it whatever you want to call it, is the range of motion that you use. Now, I'm using a machine here, which I do prefer for the extra stability and ease of setup, but the same applies to a barbell, dumbbell, single leg, or however it is that you want to be thrusting. Pay attention to what's happening to my knee in this video here versus the next video I'll show you in a sec. In this video, you can see that as I go deeper into the range of motion, my knees start to drift back towards my waist. This isn't a bad thing whatsoever, but what it does do is it starts to put the adductors, the quads, and the hamstrings into stronger positions to contract, whilst taking the glutes into slightly less advantageous positions. This is often why these other regions will start to take over a lot, and why you can train hard and do the right exercise, but end up not getting much out of the movement. Next, in this video here, you can see that I'm stopping my range of motion short, right before my knees start to drift backwards. This keeps attention right where I want it, in my glutes, where they are in their strongest position to contract against the load. If your goal is to develop your glutes and you struggle with other muscle groups taking over, I highly recommend devoting a good amount of time to training your glutes in this glute-specific range on thrusts. You can always do other movements to stimulate the other ranges of motion, such as deadlifts or lunges, or my next personal favorite exercise for training the glutes, which is the 45-degree hyperextension with a rounded back. So again, there are some nuances to how this should be performed to get the most out of your glutes. You can see, as the name suggests, how the back stays rounded with the trunk or the abs flexed the entire time. This helps to prevent the lower back from joining the party when we're focusing primarily on the lower posterior chain. I really like these because they provide a good degree of stability, but they also allow your pelvis to move relatively freely, provided you set the bench up just below the hip crease as shown in this video. The big focus here is to think about driving your glutes down and thrusting into the bench to raise your body up, instead of thinking about getting as much height as you can in the exercise. So again, similar to the thrust, the goal isn't to get more range of motion for the sake of it. The goal is to take your body through as much range of motion as needed to stimulate the glutes maximally. As an added bonus, I really like to use band loading here. The elastic resistance of the band really supercharges this exercise and challenges you right through those ideal ranges of hip extension where the glutes are mechanically strong, whilst it drops off when you're in a potentially more vulnerable position of spine and hip flexion. So there you go, guys, my top 2 exercises for glutes. And you know what? Since most people don't even watch this far into the video, I'm just going to go ahead and say that they're Sherelle's favorite exercises too, even if she doesn't agree with me. So go ahead and try them out, let me know what you think, and I'll see you all next time.